that's a story for another day. Shara Magomedov versus Marc Andre Barriault. Um, I think this is a very straightforward fight. I think to be honest, I feel like Shara Magomedov should try and cut down to welterweight. I think he would do exceptionally well there. Mainly because I feel like his reach is too short, right? Another coin tosser, I'm Shara Lock. Yeah, I agree. On this particular fight, I 100% agree. I just feel like maybe, I mean, he is like really huge, but I don't know. For some reason, it feels like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Let me actually leave that one. So, Marc-Andre Barriault does not know how to strike. Shara Magomedov is exceptional, even though MVP just showed us he is actually really talented. Another coin toss, Mark sucks. He got chinned by Stoltzfus. Yeah, okay. Mark has a 1 inch reach advantage. I don't think it's gonna matter here. Um, Shara Magomedov has an 80% finishing rate. Marc Andre Barriault has a 71% finishing rate. Not particularly great. Okay, not particularly terrible, but I mean it depends who he's fighting. Shara Magomedov has really good output. To be honest, so does Marc Andre Barriault. Barriault does not have the best striking defense, to be honest. Um, Shara Magomedov, I mean, the only person who I feel like, but even his striking is not particularly great. I like Shara Magomedov. I think he's one of the most talented strikers in the UFC. But um, apart from MVP, who I think is an exceptional striker, I genuinely didn't think MVP would beat Shara Magomedov, but he showed us how good he is, right? But apart from that, I didn't like the fact that Shara Magomedov took such an extended period of time to actually finish Antonio Chocoli. And obviously, I understand from his standpoint that maybe Antonio Chocoli's reach and height gave him problems. I can, like, that's an exception. But the fact that if Antonio Chocoli had some basic level of understanding of how to strike, I think he could have been a serious problem for Shara Magomedov. So I don't like his striking defense, to be honest. But with that being said, I genuinely think he's miles better than Marc Andre Barriault. Um, Even with the higher output for Marc Andre Barriault, I don't think it's going to matter. Um, I don't think a 1 inch reach advantage is going to matter in any way, shape, or form. Um, so yeah, on the feed, obviously, Shara Magomedov is going to be technically better in every way, shape, or form. I could see Marc-Andre Barriault trying to wrestle. I mean, Shara Magomedov is not the greatest at takedown defense, but he seems like he has been improving. I mean, Antonio Chocoli, um, his only path to victory was wrestling, and he couldn't do that against Shara Magomedov. So maybe I'm being too hard on Shara, especially because Chocoli was supposed to have been wrestling him, and he was able to avoid getting taken down by a massive guy whose bread and butter is actually wrestling. Okay, not wrestling, jiu-jitsu, but still, you understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I don't know if Magandre is going to have success with the wrestling. I think Shara Magomedov should be able to defend the takedowns. And I don't necessarily favor people who are horrible defensively and try to wrestle because normally they end up getting reversed. And Marc Andre Barriault is not particularly great defensively as far as wrestling goes. And for me, if you are bad defensively, it means it's going to be easy to reverse you. So, and that also means you're not particularly great at holding position when you're on top. So, even if he tries to wrestle, I don't think he's going to be successful because of his lack of defense, I think it's going to be a little bit more challenging for him to actually hold position. So yeah, I think Shara Magomedov actually gets this one done. My subscribers and I are going with Shara Magomedov. Um, so yeah, I think I've broken down enough here. I don't think there's a lot that needs to be said, to be honest. So yeah, my subscribers and I are going with Shara Magomedov. On to the next one. Join me there. Deuces.